Greetings, church. My name is Corey Wilcoxon. I'm one of the pastors at Crestwood Christian Church in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm sorry I cannot be with you this weekend. I'm celebrating the third anniversary of my 10-year high school reunion. I'll let you do the math on that. On behalf of your Regional Restructure team, it is my honor to present to you the report of the work that we have done so far. We realize this is no small task, and we have not taken it lightly, so we are moving forward with caution and with thoroughness as we seek to accomplish our task. I'm thankful to those who have been a part of the process so far, including Nathan Brown, Ann Bruce, Lisa Caldwell-Rice, Chris Cash, Don Gillette, Megan Houston, Shayana Hutchinson, Heather McCall, and Ruth Rigovan. Let me give you a summary of where we've been so far, an update on where we are now, and a glimpse of where I think we're going in the future. In 2016, the Regional Board created the Regional Restructure team and tasked us with the responsibility of envisioning how we might restructure our governance to equip the region for future success and for future relevance. We used several guiding questions as we began our process. What is the purpose of the region? What kind of board is needed to support that purpose? Who should be on the board in order to help it accomplish this purpose? And what's the relationship between the purpose of the region and the staffing of the region? We started by reviewing the Constitution and bylaws and getting clarity from the Regional Board on its mission and vision. Then, we started conversations with 6 other regional ministers to hear how their regions have addressed these questions. They were John Mobley, Susan Gonzalez-Dewey, Teresa Dulier Parker, Crystal Williams, Bill Spangler-Dunning, and Rick Spleth. The work we did on the Constitution and bylaws, the board's clarity they provided us on mission and purpose, and the conversations we had with the regional ministers have led us to make this restructure proposal. This proposal is also based on input from regional staff, from current and former regional board members, from clergy and lay people, and from denominational leaders outside of the Kentucky region. The current regional board is made up of a moderator, first vice moderator, second vice moderator, 22 male and female district representatives, 8 at-large members, 2 ecumenical members, and ex officio members, for a total of 35 voting members. We propose a restructured board, which would be made up of a moderator, first vice moderator, second vice moderator, 11 at-large members, 1 ecumenical member, and ex officio members, for a total of 15 voting members. This new board structure no longer considers geographic districts as the best avenue through which to constitute the board. While districts can still exist and can still get together and serve many functions, we don't believe they are effective anymore in helping us determine who serves on the regional board. But we're still committed to a diverse and a representative regional board, so what we recommend is that the selection of the 11 at-large members be subject to the following criteria. 2 to 4 people from each of Eastern, Northern, Central, and Western Kentucky, at least 3 people of color, at least 5 women, at least 3 lay people, at least 3 people from rural churches, and at least 3 people between the ages of 18 and 40. These criteria provide us with standards to meet without being restrictive. For example, if we elect a laywoman of color from Western Kentucky, we've met several of our criteria. We propose the creation of a nominating committee that will have the responsibility of finding and nominating new board members every 2 years. That committee would be made up of the moderator, first vice moderator, and 3 members of the regional board. A regional staff person will serve as an ex officio member. So that's a summary of the board restructure proposal that the team is bringing forward for your consideration. We recognize that is a lot to throw at you all at once, and you probably have a lot of questions. In fact, we still have some questions about this proposal. So then the next thing for us to talk about is how do we go about discussing and refining and implementing whatever the final proposal is going to look like? Well, to do so is going to take a Constitution and bylaws revision. Yay! Who doesn't love revising a Constitution and bylaws, right? Well, we have to do this because much of our current constitution and bylaws focuses on the roles of districts, the makeup of the board, and the function of the board and its subcommittees. So if we're going to make a change to the governing structure of the region, we're pretty much going to have to revise most of the Constitution. Well, further good news is that to revise the Constitution takes a vote of the entire Assembly. And so let me lay out a timeline for our work moving forward. In October of 2018, which is right now, the restructure team submits its report, which includes a proposal to restructure the board and to revise the Constitution. Then, between November 2018 and June of 2019, the restructure team solicits feedback on its proposal through a series of video and telephone conferences, fine-tuning the proposal and addressing any questions or concerns. These conferences would be open to anyone in the region who would like to participate. Then in July of 2019, the region is informed of the proposed revisions 120 days ahead of a called assembly as required by the current Constitution. Then in October of 2019, a year from now, a called assembly is held to vote on the proposed revisions, including the board restructure. Also, in light of Greg's announcement earlier, this called assembly will allow us to give you an update on the timeline for a transition in leadership. The next steps after that will depend upon the results of the called assembly and the vote on the restructure proposal. At that assembly in 2019, the restructure team will present a timeline for implementation of the new board structure if indeed it does pass. Like I said, I'm sure this proposal has generated a lot of questions, and your restructure team really looks forward to hearing them because we want this to be a dialogue and a conversation as we seek to discern the best way forward for us as a region. Once we've set the date for our conference calls, we'll make sure to widely publicize them so anyone can participate. In the meantime, if you have questions or concerns or input that just can't wait until those conference calls, please feel free to contact me and I will do my best to answer those for you. On behalf of your restructure team, thank you so much for allowing us to do this work on your behalf. We present this report with much humility, with much discernment and conversation, and with much prayer. So may God bless us as we continue to move forward as the Christian church in Kentucky, praying that God will continue to guide us and lead us into a bright and exciting future.